Well, hello there, and welcome to Cityline. It is great to be in your home. We are zooming from my kitchen, and we have a wonderful hour ahead of us. Later on, we'll be talking with Chris Surface from Tacoma Little Theater. He will be here to update us on some of the things that you can zoom into to see at Tacoma Little Theater, and also we'll get an update on that beautiful auditorium remodel. The Rainbow Center will be here. Troy Christensen will be here to talk about can you believe it? Pride is just around the corner. So we want to find out what their plans are for that event. And then VITA, Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. Amy Allison will be here to talk about how you can get some free tax assistance. Yep, it's right around the corner. The Humane Society of Pierce County and Tacoma will be here with their Pet of the Week. And with me right now is a brand new face to Tacoma. I happen to have stalked her on Facebook and then sent her a private message, and she bravely responded. I'm talking about Tracy Oster. She is the new executive director of Downtown on the Go. Welcome to Cityline, Tracy.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Happy to be here.
It's great to have you here, my dear, and thank you for your patience in having me harass you like that. So Tracy, as I said, you are the brand new executive director of Downtown on the Go. So first off, welcome to Tacoma, my dear.
Thank you.
What inspired you to apply for this position?
Well, first of all, I'm really happy to be here, Amanda, and I feel very fortunate to be featured on this great show that you guys have. So I had not heard of Downtown on the Go, but when I started really kind of diving into what it does and what it means to Tacoma, it really intrigued me. So Downtown on the Go is the transportation advocate and resource for Tacoma, right? But that doesn't even really capture it. So the things that intrigued me about it were there were so many different components that it reaches. So there's this environmental component, right? Fewer cars on the road, better air to breathe. And there's this tourism component. Let's bring people into our city to see our vibrant city. And there's this health and well-being component, getting people moving, walking, riding their bikes. So there's so many different things that it touches. And I think that was what really intrigued me is that there are so many different aspects of it. And I think there's also more that we can do, that transportation touches everything. And I was one of those people that just took it for granted. So it's been super exciting to kind of dive into it and really see, where we can go with it.
Wow, what a great explanation. I mean, when we look at it from the 30,000 feet down, I think you covered every aerial opportunity that downtown has for us. Tracy, what is your background?
So I come from nonprofit leadership. So I just spent 14 years as an executive director of communities and schools in Federal Way. And before that, I was in corporate business and marketing, actually. So that was my first experience in nonprofit. And I say that if I had known then what I know now about working in nonprofit, I would have done it much earlier. But when I started there, I got to be executive director by default because it was the only position they had. So I started out, and in the 14 years that I was there, we went from 1 employee to 20. We increased our annual operating budget tenfold over that time and just had a lot of great support from the community. And I'm hoping that having that experience that I can bring that to Downtown on the Go, and we can kind of look at how to take Downtown on the Go kind of to the next level. On a personal level, I'm married. I have 2 great kids that live in Tacoma. I love to ride my bike. I love being here. I grew up in Puyallup, so I've been in the area for a long time. But I'm super excited about being connected to Tacoma now.
Oh, I love that. That is so fabulous. So you already have great impressions of Tacoma growing up in Puyallup, and then, of course, having 2 children here. So for those who perhaps are not familiar with Downtown on the Go, Tracy, in the sense of what it does and what it covers, how would you explain it to them?
So Downtown on the Go is a partnership organization. It was formed originally as a program of the Tacoma Pierce Chamber of Commerce, and in partnership with the city and with Sound Transit. And ultimately, the goal is to reduce the number of single car commuters that come into the city, right? And we do this through community outreach events. We look to educate people so that they feel empowered to be able to commute to work via bike or car or transit. So it's really about influencing people's behavior. But in order to do that, you have to have the right infrastructure and systems in place in order to get people to want to change their behavior. And so I think that's kind of what Downtown on the Go does. And they're kind of the side benefits that go with that, which is kind of what I was talking before, is a cleaner environment, healthier lifestyles, and ultimately more connected to our community.
Absolutely. So Tracy, when you think about the kind of opportunities for growth for Downtown on the Go, what do you see?
I think there's a lot of opportunity, actually. I think, with recent events that happened in Tacoma, and our Friday Forum series that we have, which is on urban planning and racism and how does it affect transportation and being in the city and stuff. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Transportation equity is huge. So looking at our various neighborhoods and our communities, and do we have equitable transportation opportunities? I think that's one of the biggest places that Downtown on the Go can be. I also think that as we do start returning to working in the buildings, I think that Downtown on the Go can help influence behavior there as employers are bringing their employees back. Is this an opportunity to make a culture shift and look towards these other options for commuting as opposed to just driving your car into the city? I definitely think that we want to be part of those conversations as people start coming back to work.
Yes. And, Tracy, as you said, as people start coming back to work, and my mind just had this vision of what I know to be true about beautiful downtown in the spring and in the summer with the farmers markets, with it bustling on lunch hours, with events after hours, down by the Museum of Glass and the Marine Museum. There's so much that was put on hold and is still on hold right now with our downtown area. It really does give you a chance to kind of, since you are new, to sit and go, okay, right now I'm not jumping into this momentum of activities, but when the virus dictates, it's going to be games on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, doing everything virtually, over the past year has definitely been a challenge, especially when you're an organization that is out there in the community. How do you do walks and rides and that kind of thing virtually? So, but it's been a challenge and we've managed it. But I am looking forward to when we can come back and actually be out there in the community again. We're planning our walks now already, and we were working with the Tacoma Waterfront Association yesterday. They're going to be our first partners on our first kickoff. It'll be virtual, but it'll still be fun. And so when we do get back in person, it'll be great to have our groups together so we can do our walking events and our riding events and our transit events as well.
Look at you already out there networking. Because I know that everybody wants a piece of you because they want to get on your calendar. So, even more so, I feel very fortunate to have you for the amount of time I have you for. You just celebrated, Tracy, you and your fabulous team, the first Friday Forum of 2021. Gosh, I said it, yes. On January 22nd. How did it go?
It went great. We had a few technical glitches, which is just unfortunate, but we've worked those out. But yeah, we had some great panelists, our moderator from the city who, and I apologize, her name escapes me, but she did a great job of moderating. And I think it went really well. We had a lot of good energy behind it, a lot of interest from the community. The News Tribune, talked about it. And so we just kept getting more and more people registered. So there definitely is a lot of energy behind talking about transportation equity.
Yeah, I bet, I would imagine you sat there and went, wow, these people really love their downtown.
Yeah.
They have lots of opinions about what should happen. Speaking of that, your next one, as you mentioned, is February 26th. The topic of this one is, can street safety be anti-racist and how? I would be remiss as a journalist if we didn't talk about what happened this last Saturday on South 9th and Commerce, smack dab in downtown, with the car racing event, and also the Tacoma Police Department incident that happened. So how timely is this, Tracy, given what we are currently unraveling and trying to make some sense of?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely timely. It's unfortunate that, it had to come about this way, because Tacoma has been somewhat kind of immune from those kinds of that kind of violence. So that's unfortunate. However, I think, because we're already on that path, this is a great time for people to kind of take a step back and look at, why is this happening? Why did this happen? And what can we do to make sure that it doesn't happen? I think City Council has a big challenge on their hands trying to get this all sorted out. But I definitely think that we can partner with the city and with businesses and such to help support them, so we can, make sure that this isn't how Tacoma is.
Absolutely. And you know what? Show up. We've been showing the website below your beautiful face. Get yourself registered for that event, because don't be a bystander. Be a part of the solution. Last question for you, because I know you have to go, is what's next for Downtown on the Go?
Well, like I said, I think the opportunity, when people start coming back to work. So our board, I've got a fabulous board. It's been great to get to know them. We're embarking on a new strategic planning process. So, there was a temporary strategic plan, because of COVID and stuff. So now it's like, okay, we know that we're going to get back out there. So what does that mean for us? I think that, getting more connected to the business community. And then I think that, like I said, the transportation equity that we've been talking about, I think really is the big thing that we can work on, and, making a culture shift in this community to make a commitment to be equitable in our transportation, and also to really embrace multimodal transportation.
Absolutely. And boy, from your mouth to the universe's ear about downtown coming back into its own. For all of us that love downtown and live downtown, and also those business owners, it's going to be a breath of fresh air. Tracy, thank you so very, very much for saying yes. And I'm going to be chasing you again, sister. So in 90 days, right around springtime, I'm going to want you back in my kitchen for an update of what we're going to look at and look like in the spring and summer months. And until then, thank you so much for saying yes. We are lucky to have you.
Thank you, Amanda. I really appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, my dear.